The Indiana Pacers acquired Buddy Hield via trade on February 8th. But the funny thing is, what happened to this 6-year veteran on his new team began to see an evolution that we really haven't seen before in the NBA. He is a one-dimensional player. He spent all of his time with the Sacramento Kings just shooting from beyond the arc. He really spent the last 5 years improving his per-game attempts from 4.6 to 10.2. But his other counting stats grew only marginally over his first few seasons. And honestly, they had but all shrunk back down to the marks comparable to those of his rookie season by this year's trade deadline. He averaged 1.9 assists, 4 boards, 1 steal, and 0.3 blocks per game. Buddy Hield was known as one-dimensional, basically as one-dimensional as one can get. Even adding his non-scoring box stats together, he attempted more threes per game than he collected assists, boards, steals, and blocks by the 8th largest margin in the league through February 8th. His per game average from when he was in Sacramento was 1.9 to now averaging 5 dimes per game in Indiana. That's a huge jump, and it can really only be explained by the 7.8 extra minutes per game he's playing. In addition to those extra opportunities, he's making different choices. You can see that his court vision is definitely improving. He's passing out of pick and rolls more than twice the rate he did this year in Sacramento. And the Pacers, they're scoring 1.130 points per chance on those plays. His most efficient pick and roll outcome this season. And where he's seeing a lot of success is he's not just passing along the perimeter. He's driving and kicking out to the open man. He's attacking the basket more. And it's shown such passes involve more north-south movement of the ball than perimeter passing, which tend to move east and west. To summarize, unlocking Hield's newfound passing game is basically his newfound driving game. In Sacramento this season, he averaged 6.687 drives per 100 possessions, scoring just under a point per chance. Now listen, that frequency has improved to 13 drives per 100 possessions in Indiana, and he's scoring a 1.140 points per chance. At his number of drives or higher, that's the 6th highest efficiency in the league since the trade deadline. I would definitely say Buddy Hield has gotten out of his one-dimensional play and evolved as an NBA player. One shot type that stands out in particular is his pull-up two-pointers. He's attempting almost triple the rate in Indiana, and he's converting them more than 20 percentage points more efficiently. Here's an amazing stat that I think you guys will like. His all-around play has been the lifeblood for Indiana's offense, which is 17.9 points per 100 possessions, better than any opponents with Hield on the court. You guys, that's the second best mark for any player in the NBA this season. And that brings us to our question of the day. What has changed so much for Buddy Hield's sudden improvements? Now listen, it's expected for a rookie or a sophomore to have huge change in his game, but rarely for a 29-year-old. In my opinion, Hield's growth has got to be attributed to his opportunity. He's averaging a career high in minutes per game, 36.4, and he's also more involved in the minutes he plays. He's averaging 71.7 touches per game. Basketball is fluid, and shooting is supposed to be a cascading skill. Now listen, a shooter's going to space the floor, and when he receives the ball, defenders are likely to come off the line. And when he's giving up the drives, he's able to pass out and hit the open man, which is allowing the defender to have to play off a little bit, giving him room to create space and hit that pull-up jumper. That's what really I'm seeing from Buddy Hield as an Indiana Pacer. But let me know in the comment section what your opinion is. Justin Holiday, who is faced with the same spacing issues in Sacramento that what Hield experienced there as well, his game has moved in the opposite direction. His assist rate has fallen slightly despite his usage rate rising. And guess what? His finishing percentage at the rim has cratered from a 67.4 in Indiana to 47.1 in Sacramento. Hield and Holiday's numbers are to be some extent results of a small sample size. But is it possible that some skill sets require more supportive environments to flourish on the court? I think it is. It's definitely what you put around a player that makes him great. Shooting carries over. Hield and Holiday both averaged similar three-point attempts after the trade, though Hield is on a cold distance shooting streak. But their secondary skills seem to be either encouraged or suppressed based on the players with whom they play with. I think when general managers acquire new players, they always have to think about the latent abilities those players might have that can emerge in a new environment. But it's really just as important is the idea that a team's unique environment might affect what an incoming player's latent abilities are and how they manifest. The Pacers acquired a multi-talented offensive force who was a one-dimensional player. The Kings, they got a one-dimensional shooter who stayed the same. That is something to think about. But tomorrow, we'll be back better than ever with some more Indiana Pacers basketball. But you already know. Until then, I'll save y'all a seat. Peace.